Hi, my name is Menelik. I'm the founder director of the BFM International Film Festival. That's it.
So now, can we talk about the BFM history, so when the festival started and what your vision was?
The BFM Film Festival started in 1999. It was a vision. Um, well, actually, it was more. I was in Paris at a film festival, Black Film Festival, and the founder of the festival over there said to me, "Why don't you do a film festival in London, Menelik?" And I thought, wow, why do I want to do a festival in London? I'm a filmmaker, I want to make films. And then eventually I kind of twirled it around, and I realized that there were so many films that I was seeing in different parts of the world where I'll go to film festivals and see these fantastic films. And I'm thinking, wow, why aren't these films in London? And at that time, there were, these films weren't there. And so I eventually came around to the idea and started the BFM Film Festival in 1998 at the ICA, or Institute of Contemporary Arts, um, and that's where it all began. And the vision, or the, the, the purpose, or what was behind my drive to to make this festival happen was that as a UK filmmaker, we realised that there were very few places for our films to be shown. And I was also at the point where I was thinking about the next generation of filmmakers and how can I assist them in going forward. I had already produced a magazine, some people may know of, called the Black Filmmaker magazine, and the festival seemed like a natural extension of that. The magazine was about promoting the talent, and the festival is about showcasing the talent. And so we not only showed films from the UK filmmakers, we also showed films internationally, because that was my concern also, that it wasn't enough um, films outside of Hollywood that were about our experience that were being shown in the UK. And so, and I knew a lot of the filmmakers, which was the advantage that I had internationally. And so I was able to reach out to them and get their films to come, to partake or participate in the festival. And so the combination of Black World cinema and UK talent was really my impetus. And in the aspect of the UK talent, I also wanted to introduce seminars and workshops, which was a way that people could get into the industry, a way that people can interface with the industry. Because what we were doing at the time, we were bringing people like the BBC, Channel 4, um, and other industry organizations into delivering some of the seminars and so on. So the festival for me was important in bringing the industry to our independent filmmaking sector. And that's really what was behind that. And I also wanted to say something about the films that we were showing. It was so important, and it still is important, that we get to see films that represent our experience and represent a broad range of experiences. Because we are so limited in the types of films that we're exposed to here in the UK. The films that we see mainly come out of Hollywood, um, or they are financed um, in, or they are the trickle of films that we get, um, you know, that mostly do not really tell our story in the way that compared to, let's say, the type of films that I've been exposed to, produced by filmmakers, as I say, filmmakers from Africa, from the Caribbean, from South America, from Canada, from Europe, um, of course, the independent sector in America. I mean, there were so many films And so, and this is still the case. I mean, we're producing so many films around the world, and you would never believe that just because of the films that we're exposed to here. So we got to break that, and that's what this festival is really about: breaking the cycle. And our tagline is bringing the unseen to light.
So the future of BFM. So how do you see that in terms of how technology has evolved? So looking at independent filmmakers being motivated by the online drive.
Okay. In well, let me start by saying the festival now is reborn. We closed the festival um, some in 2007 because we ran out of funds and it was just no longer viable for me to do this. And I kind of, decided that I had my day with the festival. It's over. And then recently, through connecting with the Bernie Grant Center, um, who were very passionate as well as me about doing the festival, was really the spark that brought me back into, or actually brought the festival back to life. And so this time out, it's going to be a little different to how we were before. In the intervening years, things have moved on, and now we're in a digital world. And so the festival now is reflecting that much more now, especially in terms of the seminars and the workshops that we're presenting this year. Um, Nowadays, the opportunities for black filmmakers, the black filmmaking sector, is much more online, um, you know, than it has been in my time. And so we've had to kind of reflect that and represent that in this festival this year. And so we hope that it's going to be a festival where people want to learn about what's going on in online in terms of web series. People want to know about crowdfunding. People want to know about things like simple things like the animation and graphics in making your content, your products, because that's a very important element. Script writing is always important. And so again, so we're looking to reflect some of the traditional aspects, but also really look at um, providing more information, providing resource, providing an opening for people who want to make films from the independent black film sector seriously, and supporting them, because making films is, I know as a filmmaker, is a very lonely experience. It can be, and you're very isolated, and especially if you haven't got the knowledge about the film industry, which is always about information, contacts, networks, and all of that. And if you're outside of that, which most of us are, then it's very difficult. And so the festival is there to encourage by showing your film, because the festival is about showcasing talent, and also giving you the opportunity to learn and to engage with practitioners within the industry. So this is a very exciting time, and the BFM Festival rides again, and it's a time where we, as said, embracing a new era, and that's July the 2nd to the 5th, 2015. That's what we'll be doing.
So saying that, Menelik, can you give us some of the things to look forward to? Starting with the opening night film. So the opening night film on 2nd July will be Looking for Love. So you can tell us a bit about that film, and then some of the festival highlights.
I don't know what the festival highlights are because we haven't sorted it out yet.
Okay, so maybe we can talk a little bit about the opening night film.
Okay.
Maybe mention that we have documentary seminars, the whole shebang.
Okay.
Okay.
The BFM Festival opens with my own film, Looking for Love, which is a featured documentary about black male-female relationships in the UK, which is a very serious and very funny situation here. and I'd noticed that there was a lot of single people in our community. And at first it was noticeable amongst the young people. And then I realized actually it's all generations in our community. We're having a serious problem of singleship and or singledom. And what are the reasons behind that? Well, how we come to this kind of situation, which is very different from my time. So anyway, the film Looking for Love is going to be looking at, different aspects of relationships, and it's a film that it's going to be available in the cinemas in the summer, in probably around August. So if you come to the festival, you'll get a chance to see the actual preview of the film. In addition to my film, we'll be showing a range of documentaries, feature films, shorts, animation, suitable for all ages, because the festival is looking to reflect a wide demographic, and so this year is no different. We also will be representing, or rather, there will be some filmmakers will be attending the festival from abroad as well. So there'll be some chances for people to network as well as watch films and feel good about black film.
Okay. Just one last question. How do you view the condition for black independent filmmaking in the UK? What do you think are the major problems that we're still facing?
The UK black independent film sector at this moment, to me, is decimated. There isn't a focus for the black film independent sector at this moment. We suffer the same old traditional problems, which is we're not funded, we're not supported in the mainstream film and TV industry, and so we continually are the outsiders. And as the outsiders, we have to create our own way, our own path. And this is what I'm interested in, because that's the path that I'm walking. And and how do we empower ourselves? How do we go forth with the limited resources that we're working with? That is always a challenge. And so hopefully the festival will provide people with insights as to how they can move forward with their ideas, with their projects, without constantly having to think about, I don't have the money, and using, blockages as to why you can't make your film. I was in Nigeria in 2007, and at that point I had stopped making films, and I was inspired by the fact that there were people there making films on very little finances, in fact very little compared to what we have. And it made me realize, that we have so much resources here, and yet we're not as productive as the filmmakers in Nigeria. And so that made me realize that the obstacle that I had was not so much the money, it was my mindset, it was my mind. And once I changed my mindset and I said, listen, you know what, we can't let money stop me, because we'll always find a way. Creativity is the bedrock of independent filmmaking. And not only is it the bedrock, it also creates new opportunities creatively. And so we embrace it. I embrace it. And so the festival is about embracing this aspect, this dynamic, this challenges that we have. Because we always have challenges in life, whether you make films or you don't. And so it's the same thing. We just got to figure out a way. And one of the things that we need to do is actually come together, vibe off each other, and connect with each other much more than we're doing. There we go.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yep.
We're done?